welcome to the RYLACast, the official podcast of Camp RYLA, Rotary District 5810. My name is Greg Tepper. I am one of the hosts of this podcast. I am sitting in a room all by myself, sitting in another room. I presume it's a room. I can't see him. Over in another place, another, perhaps his own domicile. He is America's sweetheart, Andrew Josey Utz.
Well, hello, Greg. And I had a nice witty joke about how I was waiting outside your window, but it's summertime in Texas while I am in my own domicile.
I was going to say, if you're standing outside at all, that seems like a poor decision on your part. But buddy, it's been a minute since we've done this.
It has. It's good to hear you.
It's good to hear from you too. We've drifted apart, but don't worry, we're back together, and we're back together bringing you that RYLAcast heat
That's
per
right.
usual. But we've got a very special episode of this, the RYLAcast, the official podcast of Camp RYLA, Rotary District 5810, as we are joined for the first time. Believe it or not, we've been doing this podcast, like a year and a half?
About a year and a half.
We've been doing it for a year and a half, but we are just now, for the first time, welcoming on the world's greatest camp director, Dr. Dana Mackison. Yeah!
Great. Thank you. And I'm glad to be here. And I know we've talked about doing something and trying to spend some time with you guys, but we just have never got it done. And before we even get started, let me just give a shout out to just how proud I am of this RYLAcast that we do. And I know you guys may have said this before, but I think this is the only RYLAcast in the United States, maybe in the whole world. And I'm just very proud of what we've been able to do with you guys leading the charge and our alumni and making this available as a tool.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. We've had some laughs. We've killed some time. It's been very good here with the RYLAcast. And this is going to be a little bit of a different episode of the RYLAcast. Normally we would run through our paces and do the normal things with regards to asking Dana about leadership and all those things. But we're going to save that for another one. That's what we call a lateral tease there, Josey.
I like that.
We are instead going to talk about a very, very special thing coming up here with North Texas Giving Day. North Texas Giving Day is coming up very, very soon. And it's a day in which, RYLA is really relying on as far as raising funds is concerned. It's coming up on Thursday, September 17th. And we're proud to be a part of it and help spread the word a little bit. Before we get to that, Dana, while we have you, I think that one of the things that has since come down, I guess since the last time we recorded, Josey, was that camp was supposed to happen. We were all supposed to go to camp and do the RYLA thing. And if you feel like you missed it, don't worry, because it like most things during 2020. It got scrapped. Dana, can you talk us through a little bit from your perspective about the decision-making process and about canceling camp and at least in its present form? Can you talk a little bit about how that decision was made and the exciting things we're doing in place of it?
Sure. Glad to. Well, certainly, when we talk about camp and about the Camp RYLA program, that's only one part of what we try to do throughout the year. And I know we're going to explore a little bit of that with talking about just our needs with North Texas Giving Day. But back in, of course, April, May, as all of us were going through a lot of concerns and trying to understand what was really progressing with involvement with putting large groups together and just safety and particularly the safety for our students and for our staff. We had almost 190 students. Most of the Rotary clubs did a great job of really working hard through some difficult times to try to put those students together. So normally we would have went to camp with 190 students, approximately 80 staff members. So, 270 individuals or so. We would have been there. We would have just finished up. It would have been late July into the first day or so of August. And we certainly made that decision back in late May to just say, for the safety concerns, it just did not look, and the ability to social distance and all the things that we're about related to the program. So we made the right decision. It was a big disappointment to a lot of us. But more importantly, we talked about that is just a disappointment to that group of seniors in high school who are already having some challenges and probably going to have a lot more challenges as they get into their senior year and think about what that looks like. So the alumni came together and said, we just can't drop the ball. We can't disappoint this group of students. And so we decided, a group of us, that we need to create a new program, something that could be this virtual type program that was starting to be very evident. And we created something called RYLA. RYLA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership, Education, and Development. So really that true virtual program that is kind of a camp experience, not as much as having a hot week in early August in Texas, but certainly from the comfort of their home, a program that we've put together for our group of students with a lot of help, and is going to involve a lot of help from our alumni. That's going to be, we started with a premiere back on August the 9th, and then we're going to put together 8 months worth of programming, one commitment a month to deal with a lot of topics on leadership and growth and breaking through barriers and mentoring, and really looking at what does that senior year look for. So we hope that those students will really be able to get a lot out of that program that we intend to put together for them. We know just a few other RYLA programs around the U.S. have done some aspects of virtual programming with their students, but we may be the first that's going to do pretty much a whole year to guide them through the entire academic year of being a senior.
So, Dana, I know we're in the process of this RYLA, but can you talk a little bit more about how maybe this program is trying to bring that camp experience to a virtual platform? Sure.
Well, we're going to be using a couple different platforms, as you say, so to speak, education type platforms that really lets them participate in pretty much what a camp experience might be for them. We're going to be, having a main stage and having speakers and having some really, again, some great alumni from all over the United States that might not normally be able to be at a camp experience, commit a week to 10 days, but going to be able to help contribute. So a main stage, and then the fact that the students are going to be able to still be broken into cabin groups, small groups, 8 to 10 students, representing a lot of different high school backgrounds, diversities, a lot of different areas of the metroplex that they might be from. So it gives us an opportunity to break into those groups, have discussions, have main stage speakers talking on all those different subjects, and then we'll probably give them a little bit of homework to do in between times. And then we're going to also provide them with some, RYLA is always about a lot of recognition, some competition, providing some swag in the way of shirts and backpacks and stickers and any number of things. And we're going to make all that available. So we talked about that we were disappointed that we were not able to hold camp. But we were still going to decided to hold up our end of the bargain, and now we want them to do the same and join us.
It's really cool. I know Josey and I have played a very small role in the RYLA program, and we're really excited to see how it all works coming up here over the next year or so, and has a chance to really take off as a great. It's hard to say that there's a substitute for camp, because we all know the magic of camp. But I also think that it's got a great opportunity to really give those seniors, give those would-be campers a real leg up as far as leadership is concerned. So yeah, RYLA's very exciting. I know that obviously a lot of things going on in the RYLA program, and so I kind of want to transition a little bit to what we were talking about earlier about North Texas Giving Day. It's coming up on Thursday, September 17th. And Dana, can you just kind of tell us, for those who may not be familiar with it, Can you tell us just why this is such an important day for the RYLA program?
Sure. Well, just probably maybe just a little bit of background. North Texas Giving Day is actually a program initiated and managed through the Communities Foundation of Dallas. I'm not sure the history of how many years they've been doing it, but we've been involved as an organization this will be our fourth season of doing this Day of Giving, and what their concept was to make available to a number of nonprofits. I believe now it's somewhere in the excess of maybe 2,500 nonprofits in the Dallas Metroplex, Dallas Fort Worth, but really making a day where there was a lot of focus put on. That would be an opportunity for our constituents, our supporters, just anyone kind of in the RYLA family, Rotarians, anyone that would want to think about giving to our causes. And so they organize that with a lot of promotion and materials and make that a common day for all these nonprofits to be involved. And we were very fortunate. You have to be selected. And so for the last few years, we are a part of that North Texas Day of Giving. And then we will make appeals to a number of individuals, certainly starting with our own alumni. And I think we've talked about, we have over 5,500 individuals who have gone through our camp program. So that's alumni. We have alumni families and their extended families, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and then our Rotary membership in the Dallas area. That is about 2,500, 3,000 members. So we really make an appeal to say, can you help with our cause? Can you help our foundation, which is different than the camp program? What we decided a few years ago was we really needed a way to help grow programs and expand our RYLA reach beyond just a week of camp. We're very fortunate that our camp program is pretty much funded by the Rotary clubs, about 65 of those in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And now for almost 30 years, they've helped fund our so-called camp program. And that's really where we got started. But now we've really grown to some other programs, this podcast being one of those. But we also have a program called RYLA Connect, which really looks at trying to connect students and mentors and Rotarians that have been involved with our program to really give them particularly some mentoring about what might be careers or what might be some additional college choices or career choices or even job opportunities. So that's RYLA Connect. And then our camp program's extended where we have something called a Day 7 camp, which is like our 7th day of camp. But I think something that's we're really trying to focus a lot of attention and some dollars on is something called the RYLA Winter Summit. That was started. This will be our 3rd year of putting that on if we can do it. But that's a winter program for students when they're in college that would have went through the RYLA program, the camp program. And then for the 4 years that they're in college, they have an opportunity to come together for at least a 3-day weekend, a 3-day long weekend that would be related to just kind of re-exploring what are some of my needs as a college student, and what's some of my leadership things that I could evolve, and what certainly are some of my personal goals and maybe some stresses and concerns that we can help them with. So this year we're scheduled to be on January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We do it during the winter break for colleges, and that's called RYLA Winter Summit. And then certainly now our RYLEAD program, which is certainly going to be is not being funded by the Rotary clubs. It's really being funded by our foundation. So, and that is taking some dollars to really make that happen. So all that said, I was trying to get to the point of what a day of giving really helps support, and it really does then help, and those funds feed into our RYLA Foundation, or RYLA Foundation for District 5810, but that is a separate program, separate foundation. We have board members, and we manage that as a 501c3, and then that is where the funds that would support ongoing month to month, year to year programs, and we have some of the behind the scenes cost in just database management and website development and maintaining our website and really helping support all of our alumni throughout the entire year. We have a fairly robust alumni association that really steps up and does a lot of the work and helps us to really grow our program. And then we really look to say that RYLA could develop into something even more than this has given us an opportunity to explore what it is, but we hope to grow that into something that might be able to help high school students before they're seniors in high school, which would be kind of pre a camp RYLA program, and then maybe providing some other support for other programs within Rotary. You have Interact and Rotaract and some other scholarship programs that we would like to have RYLA help support those through, again, some of the teaching and the tools that we do. So North Texas Giving Day, it's a day when we need to kind of, we talk about all the things we can do, and that's the day when we need to put our dollars on the line to really help to shore up our ability to provide. No different than any other organization. We can't provide what we need to provide if we don't, raise some dollars. And I would say that the other thing that I'm always very appreciative of and very thankful for is how much that our alumni themselves, individuals who have gone through the program, maybe gotten through college, even when they're in college, but certainly gotten through college, had the ability to have a job and be able to contribute to a nonprofit, and many of our alumni step up and do that, and have created matching grants and through their companies programs, and even done as simple as I'll put this pitch out there, a shout out that don't forget that we need to be signed up for Amazon Smile. We do receive some funds into our foundation through Amazon Smile, and all of us are using that a lot more today than ever. So make sure that we, if you've not identified us as your nonprofit, you need to do that. It's just RYLA Foundation 5810. And so North Texas Giving Day is a day that we've still got a lot of effort to put into over the next 2 or 3 weeks through our social media and our email ask and our texting, and we try to culminate that on September 17th.
So I've been, I've been fortunate enough, Dana, to be involved with this effort for the past couple of years. And North Texas Giving Day as a whole has been going on since 2009. But you talked about the importance of all the different programs that go on year round. What percentage, I guess, like how significant is this North Texas Giving Day? Are there times throughout the year that people can donate, or?
Well, the North Texas Giving Day is a set day that has a lead-in couple weeks that you can donate during any of that time, and culminates on that last day on the 17th. Now, Josey, to your question, our foundation, and if you go on our website, RYLA5810.org, it's got a link where you can link and you can commit and make a payment or make a commitment or make a donation anytime during the year. And certainly we have some of our alumni's parents have done that. So certainly North Texas Giving Day is a focus day, a day to really call attention to both needs and the fact that that's a day to make a commitment. But as you say, we'll welcome dollars all year long, and certainly we have some corporate givers that help our foundation, employers through alumni. Corporate doesn't seek us out, but they've asked for matching grants, and companies have made commitments throughout the year to us too.
And Dana, I know that in the past, on North Texas Giving Day, on the actual day, there have been get-togethers, watch parties to kind of celebrate the success of the funds that we were able to raise. I know that there have been some giveaways and things like that. Obviously, I think that right now that would be at best discouraged, based on from what public health experts would tell us. But I know that this is something that is still a big day for us. How can RYLA alumni be a part of this big event coming up here later in September?
Well, two things. Watch the email, watch the announcements, watch social media for the links and the opportunity to contribute. I think the other thing you're going to see is there is going to be the alumni committee that works on the kind of the enthusiasm of this program does put together some prizes and some early giving opportunities to win some giveaway items. And we've got a few things that I hear them telling me about already is that are going to be pretty neat. So we have that opportunity, and then I think on the night of the event, and I'm sure we're going to do a virtual watch party, a virtual get together, maybe a 7 to 9, 7 to 10. So encourage people, bring your popcorn, bring your plate of nachos, all the things that we might have had if we did an in-person virtual event or get together. But we've gotten pretty good at doing virtual, as most everyone has. I think we've gotten pretty good at doing our virtual events and having a good time with those. So there will be a virtual opportunity, and there will be giveaways, and there will be which are just incentives, I guess, to help us maybe commit just a little bit more. And that's not just for our alumni, although we've got some things specific for them. We've also make some incentive items for our Rotary friends, Rotary members that might want to contribute also. And we certainly do. Very fortunate to have just our Rotary family that does contribute to this day.
I've realized we've talked about North Texas Giving Day, but haven't described how people can donate. And so, Dana, I don't know if you have anything there.
Sure. There are links. Number one, you can just go to their website, and they maintain a pretty robust setting for North Texas Giving Day. And if you just go there, it asks you to identify or do a search for your nonprofit. And if you just put in RYLA or RYLA 5810, any of those will come up with our so-called landing page within their site. And then there's a little bit about us. We've posted a few short videos that really tell a story about what is RYLA and what are some of the programs that we try to support. And then it gives you an opportunity to make a donation right there. If you just go to our website, RYLA5810.org, there is a link that links back out to that site also on both our foundation page and I believe on our alumni page too. There's a link out to the North Texas Giving, and then certainly in another week we'll kind of have that front and center. Our website's kind of right now committed to really two major programs, being RYLA number one, and then certainly our other program in September with North Texas Giving Day. So both of those will be highlighted on our own personal website too. So easy to get to a place to make that donation.
You can go to northtexasgivingday.org. That's northtexasgivingday.org. You should be able to spell all of those words. And then, or you can check out Rotary, or rather RYLA5810.org. That's RYLA5810.org. Of course, remember, North Texas Giving Day coming up here. As I'm recording this, they actually have a countdown. I'm on the website. They have a countdown. It's 27 days, 9 hours, 56 minutes, and 45 seconds. That will be woefully out of time by the time that this podcast drops. So I don't know why I did that. Dr. Dana Mackison, this is the first of two podcasts we're going to do for you. It's been very difficult to book you for this podcast. I think you have a new agent, and that has made this a little bit difficult to get you. But while I have you on, I do want to make sure we get your verbal commitment to come back and do another proper RYLAcast with us in the future. Can I put you on the spot and get you to promise the people that you will come back?
Yes, I will. And I really want to share just a little bit about what kind of shapes my leadership ideals and really who made a difference for me when I was that senior in high school and before. People were making an influence on me, and I don't know. I guess I've just taken a commitment to play that forward, I guess. And so, yes, I certainly need to share that message a little more.
See, now that, Josey, that's a tease.
That's 2 lateral teases.
That's 2 lateral teases. It's pretty good. Dr. Dana Mackison, yay! That is going to do it for us on this very special episode of the RYLACast. And don't worry, we've got fresh episodes coming to your feed very, very soon. So if you like this podcast, please give a rate, comment, and subscribe to the podcast on the podcast vendor of your choice. And make sure you tell a friend. And here with an antiquated way of telling a friend about the RYLACast is Josey.
Yes, I know we're in the era of Zoom calls and video chatting, but go ahead and take 2 cans that you've already eaten the beans out of, cut holes in the bottom, and string together some string, however long the string needs to be to reach your friend's house. And then from a socially distant standpoint, toss the other can to your friend and tell them about the RYLACast that way. And before we end, Greg, we are now on a new podcast vendor.
Gasp!
We, in addition to the usual suspects, Apple and Google Play, we are now on Spotify.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
We're moving up.
We are moving up in the world. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks to Dr. Dana Mackison for being our guest. And Josey, thanks for your courage.
Thanks, Greg.
See you next time on the RYLACast.